reading yesterday, and Nityananda telling the story of Shivananda Sen, and Shivananda Sen was very wealthy king, this, that, and the other. But then Narada Muni came to him, as Narada Muni does in the time of need of sincere souls, and then started to explain to him what is devotional service and the path of devotional service. And you see, in the Navadip Dham Mahatmya, we get the pastimes of devotees, the pastimes that have taken place previously and taken place in Navadip, the most generous place for us. So, oh look, there's Abhinava Sundara and Kalikaramurana. I don't know how long you've been visible to everybody, sharing the world, because I've been looking at these verses and some comments inspired by Kumkum Devi Rasi, which very good question for us today. And you all know about that diorama on the front of the temple, on the front of the Nat Mandir. But can I share a screen? Yes, no, maybe. Oh, yes, I can. My. I can share a screen. I'll share the screen. Click. Share. Diorama. Click. Here's the diorama. And on the left side, that very bottom left, the devotee's got his hand in the air wearing white. He should be holding a chamara fan, but the chamara fan, we keep putting it there, and sometimes it just, oh no, his left hand, he's got a bell, and the right hand, he should be having a chamara fan, but today he left it behind, so he's offering a chamara fan by mind. So if you don't have a chamara fan in your hand, then we have to go internal, offer it by mind. So the sloka is along the bottom. Oh, but the screen is not shared across the bottom. Now it's shared. You can see the sloka too. So there's the verse in Bengali. Matala Harijana Kirtana Range Pujala Raga Pata Gaurava Bange. That is what's across the bottom. And in the oblong box above that, in Saṅkīrtan party, in the big words are Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat. And this is on the front of our Nat Mandir. And click, click. Oh, no, this picture doesn't have the Nat Mandir there as well. So we are the devotees. We are chanting Hare Krishna. And we are worshipping Radha Krishna's pastimes. And specifically here, worshipping Radha Krishna at Gupta Govardhan. This is on the front of our temple in Navadip at Gupta Govardhan. And so, yeah, you see Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat on Govardhan Hill with some cows and peacocks who, as Gurudev pointed out, they couldn't in time get under the hill, so they're left on the hill in the pouring rain. Oh dear.
Maharaj, please check the chat, chat box.
Please check the chat. Check the chat. Oh, there's a long question. Praneshwari Devidasi to everyone. Chintamani Devidasi to everyone. Where is the Nat Mandir? Could you explain? Oh, the Nat Mandir is simply, okay, if you're standing at the entrance gate to Chaitanya Saraswat Mat and you look inside, so behind you is Govinda Kund, and in front of you, there is the temple, but the temple with the dome, with the deity inside, in front, so between you and the temple is the hall. You can say a kirtan hall,
Kirtan hall,
gathering hall. I'm not sure, but the hall. the meeting hall. But there, the way that it's described in our temples, it's the nat, which means dancing, mandir, temple. So it's actually the dancing temple. It's the place of dancing. Hare Krishna. So it's the literally dancing temple, but it's the place where the dancing takes place. And really dancing takes place in the Nat Mandir. Nat, yeah, it's actually Natya. It's actually Natya. But in Bengali, the Y after a letter doesn't necessarily get always pronounced. When it's in the middle of a word, it generally emphasizes the letter that's after it. But it's certainly, we're hearing all the time, Nat Mandir, Nat Mandir. Okay, there's a long, I read Chintamani's question first because it was very short. Okay, and Praneshri has a long question. Question, so what is the actual meaning of Gauranga Bange? Okay, oh, Gaurava Bange. Oh, you're not asking me the question. Okay, very good. Govinda Maharaj come to answer. It's not a question. Okay, great. It's a question with an answer. I'm good at reading. Oh, well, not always, but anyway, at least say the right things. Govinda Maharaj replies, oh, thank you, Gurudev. So kind of you to come to our help. Gaurava means Vidhi. Narayan is the Gaurava deity. Okay, so Vidhi means rules and regulations, like punctuality, the formalities. I think we all know, but there we are. Narayan is the Gaurava deity. So Gaurava means Vidhi, okay? But Gaurava Bhange means the honorable guideline of the scriptures. And from that position, we are always to give honor from afar to Raga Marga. Raga Marga is a very high plane. Why? Because in that plane, there is only affectionate attachment to Krishna. That is the plane of affectionate service. So that's Raga Marga. Acha, now another question. In this verse, what is the reference to Gaurava Bhange? In what way is this verse referring to Vidhi? Gurudev, Srila Govinda Maharaj. Matala Harijana Kirtana Range and Pujala Ragapata Gaurava Bhange. This is our life's goal. Kirtan is the first stage and also the last stage. Kirtan can take us from the lowest level to the highest level, Raga Marga. We start our practicing life through Kirtan. Mahaprabhu said, Yajña Saṅkīrtana prayāra yajñanti hi su meda saha. So Mahaprabhu is quoting that verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. And yajñanti means bhajanti, worshipping Mahaprabhu by the process of chanting the Hare Krishna mantra and following his Saṅkīrtan movement. Hare Krishna, Gaurava Bhange. Krishna, 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 Krishna. I'm doing a quick search because I can by the grace of the devotees. Hindrance. It says Bhange means, and here it says breaking. Yeah, breaking. Normally we hear it. Breaking or neglecting, we've got here. This is from the Veda base. Hare Krishna. Abhinava Sundar Prabhu. Any contribution about this verse? Oh, my microphone's not working. Yes,
Oh,
it
yes.
is.
Oh. Well, one thing I was thinking was that the jubilation of Kirtan, then we have to be mindful that we're not getting too jubilant whilst we're doing Kirtan, don't we? Where is the line between jubilant Kirtan and Sahaja jubilant Kirtan?
Oh, well, we're not meant to get too jubilant. I think we're allowed to get jubilant in Kirtan.
And then I was also trying to work out what this question that someone's just asked Gurudev about how is it referring to Vidhi? And then I guess because Gurudev's then referring to the practicing life of Kirtan, and how that is the even though it's not a strict rule or regulation, but that is our framework that we follow in this path, rather than being spontaneous. So it's not exactly a direct kind of Vidhi thing, but we do have some guidelines through which we need to travel, rather than just thinking that we can be spontaneous all over the place, without any restriction.
Mm-hmm. And that we always tend to that position. But sometimes then we are in Kirtan and then we are allowed to be happy. For those, a couple of you at least who were with us yesterday, and we had a theme in the London gathering, which was chant Hare Krishna and be happy, which actually was a very nice theme. It came up with various things, but one was it yesterday morning in our reading in Chaitanya Charitamrita, the Parayan, just where we are. Then we are reading about the devotees arriving in Jagannath Puri. And this is in the Antya Leela. They've already been there year by year. So this is like just another year. But every year is new and fresh. They arrive in Jagannath Puri. And the description of the kirtan and the joy and the dancing and everything. I mean, it's so wonderful. And so I don't think we can chastise the devotees for being too happy. They were very happy, and I think we're meant to be happy in Kirtan. Hare Krishna. And we've seen a happy Abhinava Sundar in Kirtan. Hare Krishna. But this actually is very good for us. That if you don't have it, I can put that picture, because this picture is also it is worshipable for us. Actually, this picture, the picture of the diorama. And why? Because this was self-manifested. Devotees don't like that word. Self-described. This picture automatically came. Okay, has the picture gone up? It's in the chat box. Yes, it's gone up. Hare Krishna. Muktinath Prabhu Narayani Devidasi. You've joined us recently. Jai.
Dandavats, Dandavats.
Dandavat Narayani. Govinda, Govinda, Govinda. Muktinath Prabhu Dandavat.
Jai. I have one question. In Gaudiya Mat and all throughout the Mat, everybody's so worried about being Sahajya or something of their kirtans. And then to be happy, to me, it seems like it's just natural when you are in kirtan. I mean, if you're really focused and you're offering up, then there's a natural like soberness. But then we're doing kirtan. To me, it's always made me very, very happy. So, I mean, growing up, being around you, even when I was a teenager, I never heard so much about Sahajya, and now all I hear is so much. So I'm like, the balance of that. I mean, devotees, I think part of the beauty is being in kirtan. So
you make a beautiful point, Narayani. We didn't always hear Sahaja, 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 but we also don't always hear it now, but it does come up because of the caution to stay in our family. And you see, when you're growing up and you're in the temple in Navadip, then when we're in our family of Guru Maharaj, Gurudev, and they're giving us our whole life and protection, we don't have to think about what's outside the door. When we're in a safe place, we don't have to think about the tigers and the wolves, the hyenas. But in the forest, they're there. And so in the temple, yes, we're not chewing those things, we're chewing the glorious things. And Gurudev giving us plenty of glorious things to chew, including this. This is wonderful expression. This is our position, chanting kirtan, worshipping the Lord through kirtan, with our feet on the ground, and worshipping him in the higher plane.
Jai Jai.
Jai Jai. And Narayani, you are a born devotee, so naturally you take great joy in kirtan.
You're leading a great example. I've just been listening. And then also, if you were in Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat, if you were there, then you can see the soberness of everybody and the focus. So to me, it's never been this, like, to me, I still wonder, what is this Sahajya? What is a Mayavadi? I don't want to think about that. That's not my judgment for anybody, you know? Like, I mean, you're leading a beautiful example, Dandavats.
And
yes, we don't have to analyze them too much. It is a fact. We just have to know the lions and tigers and crocodiles are outside, so stay inside. That's why we say always, that's Gurudev always saying, stay under the umbrella. We are emphasizing this always, the umbrella of Gurudev, Guru Maharaj Srila Prabhupada. Then everything is harmonized and beautiful and sweet, and we are chewing the sweet things, and we're not complaining about Maya, the material world, Kali Yuga, and like chewing all the things which, how many newspapers are printed every day, chewing mean things of the world. We're not doing that. We're reading Chaitanya Charitamrita, Navadip Dhamma, religion of the heart, all these things. And also on Facebook, Rajamohini Devirasi, welcome. Rupa Vilasru, welcome. Obeisances to you both. You've also joined us recently, and you are there. Yes, Praneshwari Devirasi.
I have to say it. Abhinav Sundar, he took us through the Golden Gate with the most wonderful kirtan in the world. And we were singing all the way, and he was just leading us. And that was beautiful. That was absolutely beautiful. I cannot think of any sahajiyas. I cannot think of nothing. It was just wonderful kirtan.
He led you through a golden gate.
In San Francisco.
Bridge,
in San Francisco, when we went to San Francisco.
You got us all thinking there, Praneshwari.
That was an incredibly beautiful day, actually. So many devotees in San Francisco going across the Golden Gate Bridge, I believe. And I was with another devotee, and I believe that I saw a boat that looked like the Jala Dut. And I've talked to another devotee, Krishna Mohandas, and he was saying that that's I don't know what he called it, but it's like when you see something in resemblance to, you know, and then you see some divine cause. It's like there's a boat that looks like the picture of the Jala Dut, and it's like, to me, it's like 50, 60 years later, you know, of Srila Swami Maharaj Prabhupada, like he's coming to the West, and then we're just all here, these devotees, you know, Hansa Duda back with the German devotees in like the 70s or whenever they came over, they were going in San Francisco, just like Mridanga Kirtan, just very German rogue, freedom, religion. And then, you know, another 50 years later, we have our devotees going across the bridge with Tyagi Maharaj, with all the devotees, and then Siddharshana Raikishori. It was, to me, it was a very beautiful day. You know, I had my little tiny mridanga, I was playing something, and then I think even Tyagi Maharaj was like, yeah, I saw that boat. It looked just like the Jaladut. So, I mean, just in remembrance of some like victory of some, you know, Hare Krishna Kirtan. So I just wanted to say, thanks for letting me speak. Dandavats. I didn't know that Pranashwari Didi was there. I was just, you know, I just came in from some stressful place, and then I was just there ready to be there for that day. So.
And Vaidehi was leading a troop of dancing girls up the front.
Oh, that's right.
Nice.
That's what kept me going, you know, seeing Vaidehi dancing with her girls, you know, I was like,
nice.
Very enthusiastic.
Which Vaidehi?
Little.
Okay. Nice. Beautiful.
But then Maharaj, an even sweeter part, like it just got sweeter and sweeter when we got to the park. And we came over the little hill and down the other side, and all the devotees. And I think that's where yourself and Srila Janardhan Maharaj and everybody were waiting. And then we had that big kirtan in the circle, and everyone was dancing around and around and around and around. It was just so beautiful. Really sweet, sweet, sweet day.
Saṅkīrtan, Harinām, Saṅkīrtan, Yajña. It is the sacrifice for this age, not all these things which are going on. Srila Prabhupada, when he came to the West, then you know that he's had so many interviews, so many things, and many times he's being interviewed about well, what about the Christians? And Srila Prabhupada, it's there in the Science of Self-Realization, and Srila Prabhupada said, I have been traveling in the West, and I have yet to meet a Christian, or I've hardly met a single Christian, something like this. And that I was reminded of that just very recently, because, you know, in India, you can say we've seen many holy men and yogis, you know, people who are doing some yoga, this, that, and the other. But when you see what is real yoga, which is well, first of all, if you're going to be a yogi, you need to be like a real yogi at whatever stage you are. But yoga is to come to bhakti yoga. And so it's almost like we can say, well, you know, we as Westerners, we've come to India, and except for our gurus and those who are in this line of Saraswati Thakur and, you know, sincere seekers under the Mahaprabhu, you can say, we've hardly met a real yogi, because so many, you know, strange things going on in the name of yoga. And if you don't believe me, Kumbh Mela is a big example of that.
Alright, Saraswati Thakur had a similar expression after doing Brajamandal Parikram, when he expressed that I've been to Vrindavan and I haven't met a single Vaishnava. And Vaishnava in the terms of Saraswati Thakur means something substantial, someone substantial. He said, I haven't seen anyone, and that was a revolutionary statement too. And we hear how Srila Guru Maharaj reacted to that. He was astounded to hear that. And then he said, well, how about that Babaji everybody's talking about? And then Saraswati Thakur give him some honor by saying, oh, he's a Kanishta Adhikari, bordering Prakrita Sahajya. And Guru Maharaj himself, as you know that story, he went to see this Babaji and to understand, by observing his behavior, to understand what is the meaning of those words by Saraswati Thakur. And then he saw what Saraswati Thakur meant, speaking of Sahajya subjects. And also Srila Gurudev explains there is a difference between Sahajya, and in a way we're all Sahajya. We're trying to imitate the higher service in our practice. And the difference is there's a Prakrita Sahajya. They're taking down the divine service of the highest group of the devotees. They're taking down, exploiting for their material gain, for their own enjoyment. So I was trying to stay away from that group, the Prakrita Sahajya group. So there's a little difference there, but since everybody says Sahajya, I guess we'll just stick to Sahajya in general. Stay away from that.
But let us be genuine in whatever we do, or American genuine in whatever we do. This is the main thing. We've come from nowhere to Krishna consciousness. So let us not take it for granted or take it as anything light. We try to do things properly as being given to us by our masters. And yes, to have knowledge of so many things outside the gate is not necessary. If we are led in Saṅkīrtan through the golden gate to Guru Maharaj and Gurudev's shelter, then that is a very valuable Saṅkīrtan. And I'm sure that's where Abhinava Sundar was taking you. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. And all this stemmed from Kumkum Devidasi's sincere question.
Goodness.
And Rupa Vilas Prabhu is saying, Dandavat Pranam from the Philippines, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Sri, all glories to the assembled devotees is what he's saying. Hare Krishna. Rupa Vilas Prabhu. Yes, any short question or top pocket contribution?
Yes, Maharaj, I have to reread that message because Rupavila says, all glories to Srila Madhusudan Maharaj.
Well, I edited the message.
I know.
I'm the editor. Hare Krishna. Govinda, Govinda. And one gentleman, Vishnu, also is with us. Welcome, or was with us. And Hari Diaz, Dandavat Maharaj. I know that's a devotee, but I just can't put the name to the official name.
Hari Vallabha Maharaj.
Oh, really?
From San Francisco. Well, LA, wherever he.
Okay, Hari Vallabha, yes, Dandavat. Wonderful. Nice of you to drop in and be with us. And who's gone? Oh, well, Chintamani Devidasi volunteered. Chintamani and Jayadevu, sorry, Jayadevu. Volunteered Jayadevu 2 sessions ago, and we promised we'd give Jayadevu an opportunity. Where's Jayadevu? Anybody home? Would you like to say a word? Okay, maybe they're doing something.
No, I don't know if our mic is.
As I said before, she's just trying to throw me under the bus. No, I'm not trying to offer any words other than my sincere gratitude for this beautiful community of devotees, and especially for you, Bhakti Ranjana Madhusudan Maharaj. That's all. Hare Krishna.
We'll go for the wonderful group of devotees section, and that includes you both, that you are with us, and always very happily having your steady association when we come through the door. Oh, there's a question here, by the way, just one popped up from Rupa Vilas Prabhu. Oh, I really can't see, so small. Sorry. We have talking about Sahajism. How safe are we now? Haven't they penetrated our walls? Oh no, Rupa Vilas Prabhu. No, not our walls. But we have to be very careful that we want to keep association only with those who are keeping association in the safe quarter. This is actually the fact. And this is what is Chaitanya Saraswat Mat. In fact, it is the shelter of Guru Maharaj and Gurudev, which means also by extension Srila Prabhupada. So this is our mat. And it is unfortunate that from different places devotees go here and there looking for other things. And in the meantime, unfortunately get misconceptioned, whatever the right word is. And it is very difficult. And Gurudev, he was very, very heavy about those who go and start to hear and try to participate in this imitation thing. So it is a big caution to us all that once you go there, practically spoiled, you can say. And so many from other places too, after the disappearance of Srila Prabhupada, they went to here, there, this, that, and the other, without coming to Guru Maharaj, without taking Guru Maharaj's shelter. And very many unfortunate things have happened to those who otherwise, you can say, would be very good leaders. But now we have to be very, very cautious, but not within our walls. Outside our walls, many things are going on. And that's why we want to stay safe within the walls of Guru Maharaj, Gurudev, and Srila Prabhupada. Repeatedly, we must stress this. Back to basics. Yes, okay, so a nice comment there, back to basics. Not our walls, they are sacred because they are protected by our Srila Guru Maharaj and Srila Gurudev, yes. And then, like Narayani is saying to us, Narayani Nadia Devidas is saying to us that Kirtan is a happy and safe place to be, and in the company of the loving devotees, in the company of those who've got shelter, proper devotees, shelter in the line of our guardians. And really, what could be more joyful than being in such a kirtan? And just think about Gaura Purnima, which is coming up very soon. Within moments, we're going to be in Gaura Purnima. And Gaura Purnima, that kirtan, as it builds up to Mahaprabhu's appearance time, not only the day, but the time of his appearance, the sunset, moonrise. What wonderful kirtans we have witnessed in Navadip, in the presence of Guru Maharaj dancing, the presence of Gurudev and Guru Maharaj dancing together, and in the presence of Gurudev with Guru Maharaj watching on from his seat, his invisible seat, watching everything, with Gurudev dancing and all the devotees dancing. I mean, we can't say we're meant to be sitting sober and aloof in such circumstances. Joy is infectious.
Yes, it's not a sitting hall.
It's not a sitting hall, it's a dancing hall. Well done.
Dandavats, I'd like to also add, I was on a walk or hike with Sita and Bhakti Lalita up in actually Ashland, Oregon, and they were talking, and Bhakti Lalita and Sita were laughing and talking and saying how Gurudev is saying, just climb on my boat, just get on my boat, and so I mean humbly I say, because I'm just like a baby. And then I love what I think it was Paramananda Prabhu. I love everything he has to say. And then, you know, in the words of Kirtan, and then even the question, the thing that's come up with Sahajya, like, I mean, so beautiful. So, I mean, for me, it's always been very focused, like, you know, whenever you're chanting, whenever you're like honoring and giving to Gurudev, and then, you know, trying to climb on his boat. That's what I heard from some of my higher God sisters. So I'm just here sharing. Thanks for letting me speak. That's all I wanted to say. I mean, to me, it's a big, huge question, because we're doing kirtan, we're doing these things get ecstatic. Sometimes, actually, I even know that, you know, our own Gurudev, when he came to the West initially, like 1992, he was singing some songs in a tune that, you know, is very attractive, and then that's to attract. So, you know, anyway, I should stop speaking. Sorry.
No, it's all good. And when you're
Okay.
hearing from Bhakti Lalita and from Sita, then you're hearing from the right source, a close source who got much experience but much blessing, both of them from Srila Gurudev.
Dandavat,
So,
Dandavat, yes.
safe source to put on our prasadam.
Yes,
Maharaj, can I read an excerpt from Srila Gurudev on that boat subject that he wrote himself?
Definitely.
So,
Oh, and I can
Srila
guess.
Gurudev
Please
says,
read it. Yes, I can guess what you're going to read.
yes,
Please
you
read
can.
it.
So he says, should I do the Bengali? Attempt my Bengali skill, Maharaj.
As you
The
wish.
Gurudev says, Ami chinmoya dhame chalai batare, chatur bhuja habiyata nara nari, stavara jangama shabila bihari, habi deva deva manya. I will drive the boat to the spiritual world, and all the men and women will assume divine forms. All moving and inert beings will attain the Lord and become worshipable, even by gods. So that's the boat Narayani Didi reminded us about. And I was always wondering, what are the sails made of, Maharaj?
Well, we have in another place that the oars are made of the arms, and that the sail is the favorable wind of love of Krishna. I think Krishna Prema. But maybe Saṅkīrtan. You're thinking Saṅkīrtan.
Well, I'm thinking Saṅkīrtan, but Saṅkīrtan is only possible if the participants actually possess Krishna Prema. I mean, Saṅkīrtan, the Saṅkīrtan. So, Maharaj, your answer is perfect.
Well, it's not my answer. It's the answer which is in that that song from the songbook.
Oh, it is?
Who will go? Who will go, dear brothers? K Jabi, I think it is. Anyway, I always forget the first line. I'll have to look it up. But there's some answer like that is given. Again, the boat, this boat example. And we need a vessel to cross from this shore to that shore. This side to that side.
Oh, here we go, Maharaj. That's the verse. Ami chalaba sakale guru padabale. Vadamatuli bahari bola bale. Mahamai vini chlana chalile karibachina bina. So I will guide them all by the power of my Guru's feet. I will hoist the boat sails by the power of chanting the holy name. And if Mahamaya presents any illusion, I will cut it asunder.
This is Gurudev. And what year was that composition? 19?
Was it 1950 something, 53 maybe?
Early 50s, yeah. This is Gurudev.
55, Maharaj. 15th November of the 1955.
And I think Gurudev was like 25 or 26 or something at the time.
No, he'll have been in 1955. Oh, there you go. Yes, you're right, right, 25. Do not imitate Gurudev. We worship him. Just in case any of you, when you get to 25, then don't imitate Gurudev at 25. Hare Krishna. All right, dear devotees, wonderful devotees, and Rupa Vilas Prabhu, appreciate your feedback. Yes, we are so indebted to be with the devotees and to be able to remember them and to remember especially, of course, our guardians and their teachings, and coming from different sources. Everyone's got different experiences, different association, different things have come up, and we're all here to remind each other. Machita madgata prana bodhayanta parasparam katayantascha mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. And you all know the meaning of that because you are enrolled on the back to basics classes, which is today with our verse. Our verse of the day was Pujala Raga Patta. No, Matala Harijana Kirtana Range Pujala Raga Patta Gora Babange. This is where we began, and this is the beginning, middle, and end, with the mood of humility, tolerance, and giving honor to others. We will worship that higher plane, under the shelter of our guardians. Jai Shila Gurudev Shila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. And Jai Shila Guru Maharaj Shila Bhakti Rock Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. And Jai Shila Prabhupada Shila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. And Jai Bhagavan Shila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Ki Jai. Shri Rupanuga Guru Vaga Ki Jai. And to all of our dear devotees present and all over the world, Ki Jai. And to our Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Acharya Vrinda Ki Jai. Nitai Gaura Premanandi. Hari Hari Bol. So dandavat to each other and to you all. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha.
Srila
All
Bhakti
glories to
Maharaj
Sri-
ki jai.
Jai.
all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Nitai Gaur Premanandi. Hari Hari Bol. Appreciating your presence and contribution of all of you. Jai.
Thank you. Thank
I
you.
leave you
Maharaj.
together, but I need to keep my wheels turning this side. Hari Bol.